What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Oliver and on this channel we talk about education and early career development in Finland. And during these weekly live streams, Q&A live streams, I answer your most burning questions about studying, living and working in Finland. And how these live streams work is that if you have any questions that you would like to ask, that you would like me to answer live, please post your questions into the Google form that I have linked in the description box below. The reason why we do it this way is simply because that makes it a bit easier for me to manage all the questions. The live chat gets quite busy at times during these live streams and it's impossible for me to follow along while trying to answer the questions. And if you post your questions into the Google form, again linked in the description box below, I will have all the questions here in front of me on my computer so that I can answer all questions in a first come first serve basis. Before we jump into the stream, let me just super quickly link the live stream into our Discord server. If you have not yet joined our Discord server, I highly recommend you do that. On the server, we're building a community of people interested in studying, working and living in Finland. And on the server, we have over 600 international students and prospective students, and people help each other out with different kinds of topics. And I also post updates about upcoming videos and live streams just like this one. So there we go. All right, before we jump into the first questions, we have a few questions left from last week. Let's just say hey to everyone who has already joined. We have Ayo Ania, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We have Muhammad Sabur, Ahmed, welcome back, man. Welcome to the stream. We have Ken Virey, welcome to you as well. We have Vagar Choudhary, we have Tylord, we have Vimotian Monty, what's up guys? We have Hassan Ullah Baig, and we have Rishi Kesar. What's up everyone? Welcome to the stream. This week I actually have to end the stream in around an hour, so we can only go for an hour this week. Normally we would be streaming for 2 or 3 hours, but I actually have some scheduled program this evening that I have to attend. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, let me know in the Google form, and let's jump into the first question, which comes from last week. And this question is from Arya, who comes from India, is coming to Finland for work, not for school, and specifically in the field of environmental chemistry. And the question is, I'm joining the University of Eastern Finland for a PhD from starting this October. First of all, congratulations, that's awesome. How does the apartment hunting in Kuopio, the city of Kuopio, work from overseas? Can I apply for multiple apartments through the portal, or what do I do if I don't get my preferred apartment in case I'm applying only for one? Also, what basic clothing should I carry with me for October? So a couple of really great questions here. What's up, Vaido? What's up, Konul, DJ Rocks, as well as Kogul? Welcome to the stream. Awesome to have you here. So a bunch of good questions. So let's take these one by one. So first of all, when you apply for student apartments in the Kuopio, near the city of Kuopio, what I would recommend you to do is to simply go to Google and Google Kuopio student apartments, just like this. And what you will see if you go downwards is you actually have student housing from the a student housing page from the University of Eastern Finland. Do note that student housing is actually not provided by the university itself, but it's actually provided by this organization called Kuopas, kuopas.fi right here. So you can actually jump right into the Kuopas website, and from here you can actually see what kind of apartments they have, how the application works, where the apartments are located at, what kind of types of apartments they have, and the rent levels of rent. So I have not familiarized myself with the application system that Kuopas has, but it is very general practice that if you only apply for one type of an apartment and you are not given that, you will not be offered a new apartment from that student apartment provider, at least within the next year or so. So this is why I always tell everyone not to start being picky about the student apartments, especially in terms of location, but rather apply to everything that you are allowed to, as per to the rules of the student apartment provider. Then Of course, in your case, because you are a PhD student, I'm not quite sure how the system works with Kuopas. But for example, in Helsinki, I know that many student apartment providers do not either provide apartments to PhD students at all, or if they do not prioritize PhD students. Rather, they always prioritize bachelor's and master students. However, this might be different in Kuopio, specifically with Kuopas. However, if you are not prioritized and you do not get the apartment that you are applying for, then you simply need to rent an apartment from the private market. The best way for you to do this is to simply Google Kuopio rent apartment or rental apartments, and there will be multiple websites from where you can actually browse for rental apartments and contact the owners of those apartments if necessary. Then in terms of what kind of basic clothing should I carry with me for October. In October, depending a bit on the city that you are actually residing in, you don't necessarily need that much specific special clothing, because in October, just a moment, because in October, all right, so just letting everyone know, if you guys spam in the chat, I will put you on hold, and if you keep spamming, I will then ban you from the channel. The spamming the same question in the chat will not help you get your question answered. Please use the Google form as instructed in the description box below. Regardless, going back to the question at hand, so basically during October, in Kuopio, it is highly likely that you get snow already during at least at the end of October. However, if you come to Helsinki or any of the southernmost cities in Finland, we will not have snow before November, December, depending on the year. So you don't really have to think about the snow if you're coming to Finland in October. However, it is highly possible that the temperature will drop below -degrees. So you should at least have a good outdoor jacket. You should have gloves, some kind of a cap or a beanie, good waterproof shoes, and then just normal clothing underneath. Just jeans are fine, whatever you like to wear. However, for example, for the ladies, I don't think using skirts or dresses in October is the right call, because it will be considerably colder, especially than what you might be used to, for example, if you come from India, let's say. Then the next question from the forum. Actually, before we jump into the next question, let's see who do we have here live. I've said hey to almost everyone. Pratik, welcome to the stream. What's up? Let's see. We have also anyone new here? No, that's actually everything. So that's totally fine. So just a moment. I will jump into the next question in just a second. All right, the next question from the forum comes from Waido, who comes from Vietnam, and Waido is starting school this semester at Aalto University, doing his bachelor's in IT. And the question is, hey Oliver, I want to ask about general winter clothing prices. Is it expensive? Okay, so guys, before I answer this, I'm not sure if you can actually hear this, but there's fighter jets flying outside, and they're making quite a bit of noise. I think the Finnish Air Force has some kind of a practice war game thing going on. They have been flying here outside the coast of Helsinki for 2 days now, and it's really awesome. Not sure if you can hear it in the background, but that's kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, back to the question. I want to ask about general winter clothing and their prices. Is it expensive around this time? And are there many cheap stores with reasonable quality you would recommend? Because of COVID, because of the COVID situation in my country, I cannot buy any winter clothes before my trip, so my only choice is to buy them in Finland. So yeah, great question. There's a bunch of really good stores, of course, in Finland where you can buy winter clothes. Of course, since winter in Finland is, completely normal, you can basically buy winter clothes in any kind of clothing store, whether it's a cheaper store, a normal store, H&M, Zara, anything fancier. It's simply dependent on what you're actually looking for. So yes, absolutely, you can find winter clothes for cheap, either first hand or second hand. But this, of course, what kind of stores you want to use depends on the city that you're going to. And for example, just within Helsinki, you have hundreds of different stores where you can go to, and you have products for all kinds of price ranges, super expensive or super cheap. So anything between the spectrum. All right, let's see what else. By the way, guys, let me know if this works. I actually have a new thing here with my with the stream that I would love to try out. Let's. There you go. Hey Aaron, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Just a second, guys. I'm trying to figure out if this works. I have a new thing here. Nope. All right, never mind. I actually had a new thing here, but it doesn't really seem to work. So unfortunately, I actually had a system to pull up your comments onto the screen, but it's not working right now. So that's a bit of a shame. All right, let's skip that. Let's try next week again. Anyway, yeah. Then the next question from the forum comes also from Waido, and the question is, what do Finns usually do for fun? I've heard from some people that I'll have to be alone most of the time in Finland, which is okay too, I guess. Okay, but I also want to go to gatherings, make friends, networking, and all that. So are there any hope for me to do those stuff in Finland, or am I destined to be alone? This is actually a funny question. Hey, Elon Musk, we have Elon Musk in the stream. Welcome, Elon. If you would not mind, of course, the one of the richest people on the planet. I would love to go to space, Elon. That would be awesome. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully your kids would be also coming to Finland to study. Wink, wink. Probably not Ellen being there, but a fun joke. Nike Shoe, what's up? Welcome to the stream as well. Shreya, welcome to the stream as well. So yeah, of course, there's absolutely a lot of really fun stuff to do in Finland. Of course, it's possible to network, get to know people. There's a lot of hobbies that you could do. You can do sports, depending on what kind of sources you want to do stuff. So, for example, a lot of student organizations organize a lot of different activities, whether it's sports, games, career-related stuff, travel, all kinds of stuff. So of course, getting to know people, doing a lot of really interesting hobbies, for example, through student organizations is one of the best ways, in my opinion, to get to know people in Finland. Kind of the comment here that Waido is mentioning, that it is, he has heard that some people stay or are alone all the time in Finland. That is in a sense true, in that we Finnish people, we do like to have our own space, and especially our own time. So for example, if you come from a culture where you are used to hanging out with your best friends every single evening, even if you don't really do anything, just sitting on the couch, watching TV without speaking, that is something that we don't really do in Finland. We really need our own time and space. And I actually had a couple of international acquaintances with whom I had actually a bit of issues, because they were used to hanging out with their friends every single evening, and they would basically come knocking on my door every single evening at my student apartment, and I just couldn't take it because I needed that alone time. I needed some time on my own to de-stress. So that's definitely something that you need to keep in mind in Finland with Finnish people. However, having said that, absolutely there are multiple ways for you to hang out, do a lot of really fun stuff, do hobbies, etc. And however, it's mostly about your proactivity. No one is going to come and drag you into things, so rather you really need to be proactive about this. Rahul Singh asking actually in the chat, hi Oliver, is Finland open for Indian students? Generally yes, however I don't know what the situation is with the current pandemic. Please refer to the relevant authorities about this issue if you want an answer to that. What you would need to do is to go to the website of the Finnish Institute of Health and Welfare. From here, this is the official government institution that takes care of all the COVID stuff. They have, as you can see here on their front page, they have latest updates about COVID, and then Finnish border guard, which takes care of the border. They also have their own guidelines and information about COVID specifically at this time. So please go to Border Guard, the Finnish Border Guards, and the Finnish Institute of to the websites of the Finnish Border Guard, as well as to the Finnish Institute of Health and Welfare, and get the official information from there. Cool. Then the next question comes from Rawesh, who comes from Iraq. And Ravesh is coming to Finland for work, not for school. And the question is, hey, I'm trying to come to Finland with my wife as she will be studying. And for me, I will try to find a job there. I have a diploma in accounting with 3 to 4 years of experience in accounting and 2 years as a salesperson. I can speak English as well. Will it be hard for me to find a job there? So this is a very difficult question for me to answer. So, for example, to kind of give you a bit of context, I actually majored in accounting and business administration in my bachelor's, and I'm not an accounting expert. However, what I can say is that it is going to be quite difficult to find a job as an accountant, simply because the accounting principles and the laws and the regulations in Finland are very much different from what you are most likely used to. Of course, you would also, as an accountant, you would also most likely be working with Finnish clients, which would mean that, especially if you're working in a smaller company, that would mean that you have to learn at least basic Finnish in order to communicate with the Finnish customers. Plus, in addition, many of the financial disclosure forms and materials are in Finnish, depending on a bit of what we're talking about. So these things might make it a bit difficult to find a job as an accountant unless you educate yourself in Finland further. However, having said this, what I would say that your best bet is applying for jobs in Finnish multinationals in their international accounting and taxation teams, because of course those people would be dealing with international paperwork and taxes and regulations. So that's, I think, the best bet for you. Of course, if you have a couple of years of work experience as a salesperson, that's also another route to take. However, you again have to take into account that many direct customer sales sales jobs require you to speak the same language as the customers, and it will completely depend on the company that you're applying to whether or not the Finnish language is required in the specific job positions or descriptions that you have mentioned. Having said all of this, of course, having a diploma in business in general, not just in accounting but in business, is a very good background, and there are always jobs available for people in that field. It's just a question of what kind of jobs that you would be looking for, and what kind of a job and salary you would be willing to accept. So I would say that this is kind of the context that you would need to be playing with. Hey Alexi, what's up? Welcome to the stream. What's up? I'm trying to read this the chat at the same time. Welcome, Alexi. By the way, Alexi, I've never done this before. I don't know why I haven't done this, but if you don't mind, would you actually want to become a moderator on the channel? I've never asked you this before. So, Alexi, if you want to become a moderator on the channel, just let me know in the chat, and I'll just make you a moderator right now. That might be a bit of help during the streams as well. Anyway, the next question comes from Suranga, who comes from Sri Lanka, and Suranga is applying to the HUMC, University of Applied Sciences, as well as Aalto University, doing his bachelor's in media and communication / journalism. And the question is, are there any bachelor's programs in Finland related to media and communications? Absolutely, there there might be. If not, then what I would recommend you to do is to take a general bachelor's in business, or for example international business, and then continue to in your master's to major in marketing or international communication. So what you have to take into account, this is for everyone, is that in Finland many of the bachelor's degrees that we have here are pretty general. They're not that specific. For example, in your case, you would be I'm sorry. Okay, that's the wrong way of putting it. So many of the international bachelor's degrees that we have in Finland are not super specific. They might be a bit more general, and then you would then be specializing in your specific field or speciality only after you graduate. For example, I'm sorry, only after you go to your master's. So, for example, in terms of media and communication, I haven't heard of any bachelor's degree that would be about media and communication. This doesn't mean that there are none. Just use Google. Google is your friend. However, what I would say that there are absolutely master's degrees in international communications. However, that would then mean that you might have to take some other kind of a bachelor's in business or economics or international business or something like this, and then you just continue to your master's in communication, international communication, a bit later. Then let's jump into the chat super fast. Let's see what we have here. There's a lot of activity happening there, so cannot really read all the comments. But for example, Agiles Vuda saying that it really seems like my chats are not showing up on the live. They are. So I do see your chats here live. Of course, it depends on what you are writing. I do have a filter on in the channel in general. So for example, links do not show up in the live chat, and there are certain types of words, mostly bad words, that do not show in the chat because they go to automatic filters. However, I do see your chats, Agiles, so it might be a problem in your at your side. Also, Elon Musk asking in the chat, I can't see any computer science bachelor's degrees in Finnish universities. So yeah, Elon, this is actually a good point, and even though you didn't ask the question in the forum, I will actually help you with this, because this is actually a common mistake that international students do. So let me just share the screen. There you go. So a common mistake that a lot of people do is that awesome, Alexei, I'll just make you a moderator right now. So a common mistake that a lot of international students do, and this applies to every one of you, is that people look for degrees in Finland with very specific terminologies, and this is why they don't find any degrees, because they are looking for specific words. You have to be thinking about this a bit broader. So for example, if you go to Aalto University's website and you look for bachelor's degrees in Aalto if you look for degrees in Aalto, specifically bachelor's degrees in English, go to just Google Aalto bachelor's in English, click this link, and then you can actually find all the different programs that you have in Aalto. We have a bachelor's in design, in economics and international business, but then we have also a lot of stuff in sciences and technology, specifically computational engineering. We have data sciences, and we have digital systems and design. Then we also have quantum technology, but that's a bit more specific. So for example, if you go to look at the degree in computational engineering, it is not directly computer sciences. However, it has a lot of stuff. It has a lot of contents that you will need in a degree in computer sciences if you want to do a master's. For example, mathematics, including integral and differential calculus, linear algebra, statistical analysis. There's different engineering principles, computing. So for example, programming principles and algorithms, numerical methods, finite element methods, etc. And from here, if you go downwards to qualifications, it says, after graduation from the bachelor's program, the student automatically has the right to continue studies in selected master's programs. For example, one of these master's programs is the master's in computer sciences specifically. So you have to, when you're looking for bachelor's programs in English from Finland, you have to think about it a bit broader. For example, if you just Google bachelor's in computer science, you might not get any results. So you have to think about it a bit broader again, and go to university websites directly to look for different programs, and actually click open the different program websites and actually read the descriptions and the contents of the studies, and figure out what they actually teach during that program. So this is a top tip that I would give everyone, because this is a mistake that I see a lot of people making all the time. Mike Young, it is a real live stream. What's up? Welcome. All the graphics have changed, so yes, it is a real live stream. Onurkan Yildiz saying the new bottom graphic looks nice. Thanks so much for the feedback. That's highly appreciated. Anyway, the next question from the forum comes from Agiles Woodham. As it happens, Agiles comes from the Netherlands, is also a regular on the channel, and Agiles is applying to do his bachelor's in biology and linguistics in the next application period. And in terms of schools, he says that he's unsure, but he recently found that biology majors are not yet taught in English, so I'll try looking into universities of applied sciences. All right, that's actually very true. So the question is, how long do you think it would take me to a master's? To master university level Finnish, meaning able to attend a degree taught in Finnish if I already know English and Dutch? This is a good question, and my general answer here is that it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take a very, very long time. So we're not talking about a year, 2 years, 3 years. It's gonna take a very long time. Of course, you could study Finnish language courses or courses taught in Finnish already if you are an English language student. However, the problem is that you will not be able to get admitted into a Finnish language program unless you are pretty much fluent in Finnish. You have to be pretty much native level in Finnish in order to actually get to study in a Finnish language program in Finland. So I would say that it's years and years of worth of work. So I would not recommend doing that. Rather, I would look for a program, for example, in your case, in biology from somewhere else. And then, for example, think about doing a master's in biology or a similar type of a program in Finland than on a master's level, because those are in English, that I do know. And then a second question was, I know this is a kind of an unrelated to studying on its own, but as a student, do you know any recipes that are healthy and save money? Yeah, that's actually a really good question, and I don't. One of my big goals for this year, so 2021, is to basically create a basic set of menus or recipes that are super cheap but also super healthy. The problem with me, for me and my girlfriend, has been for almost 5 years that we live in a district that is or in a part of Helsinki that is very expensive, and we have a grocery store right under our apartment. It's just literally under our apartment, but it's also one of the most expensive grocery stores in Helsinki. However, it's such a convenient place to go to shopping that it's costing us way too much money. So I've been thinking about actually doing the set of recipes that I could do, basically every single week if I don't have any other ideas, with the idea that I would go to a big supermarket once every 1 or 2 weeks, get a huge amount of stuff, and then I could use those recipes every single day if I want to, if I don't have any other ideas. But great question. I actually don't. This is a to-do list for myself as well. Actually, whoa, that went high. Okay. So I'm gonna grab a really quick drink, but while I'm doing that, I would really appreciate if you guys are getting some value out of the stream as well as from the channel in general, if you could gently tap the like button for the YouTube algorithm gods, because that tells YouTube that you're getting some value out of the stream. We are only able to stream for an hour or so today, so it would be awesome to get over 30 likes before the end of the stream. Awesome. By the way, seeing that we have 40 people live right now, which is awesome. That's, I think, one of the biggest numbers that we have had on the channel. Welcome to everyone. If you're new to the channel, new to the live streams, my name is Oliver, and on the channel we talk about education and early career development in Finland. And during these weekly Q&A live streams, I basically answer your most burning questions about studying, living, and working in Finland. And how these live streams work is that there's a Google form linked in the description box below. And if you want me to answer your questions live, please post your questions into the Google form. The reason why I do it this way is that it's impossible for me to follow along with the live chat while I'm talking. So all the questions come here on my computer in front of me, and that means that I'm able to go through all the questions in the order that they actually come in. Talking of which, the next question from the form actually comes from Rukwit, who comes from India, and Rukwit has not yet decided whether or not he wants to study in Finland, but is interested in doing his master's in Aalto University in finance specifically. And the question is, would universities in Finland accept a person from science backgrounds into finance? Great question. It depends on the school. So it depends on the school and the actual master's program that you're applying to. So generally what universities in Finland say is that you have to have a degree that makes you eligible to apply for, you have to have a prior degree that will give you the background information to make you eligible to apply to a master's. So for example, if you have a degree in mathematics, you would be most likely a very good candidate to study a master's in physics. Oh, shoot. However, if you are, whoops, just a moment. My apologies. I'm having some technical difficulties here at the office, so we had some background noise coming in. Regardless, so basically, if you have, for example, a degree in mathematics, that might make you eligible to apply for finance. However, if you, for example, have a bachelor's degree in, say, biology or physics, you most likely are not going to be eligible to apply for a master's in finance because they have nothing to do with each other. And you have to consider the reason for this is that the master's degrees in Finland go really deep into the topics. And you basically need to have X amount of information already that you know before you apply to the masters, because if not, you will not do well in the program, and it just doesn't work as a system. So it depends on the previous degree that you have is my simple answer. The next question comes from Sabur, who comes again from Pakistan. Sabur is also a regular on the channel, which I do appreciate. And Sabur is starting school this semester, doing his degree in chemical engineering and master's degree in chemical engineering. And my question is that my first name contains two names, but in the university record, my name is appearing incomplete or as a single name as my first name. So it may be a mistake, or do they do it knowingly? This is actually a great question, and what the problem might be not with the university, but with the Finnish naming standards or systems. Alexi might actually have something to say to this. I'm not sure if you have, but I actually have a Mexican colleague who has also his first name basically consists of two names, and the Finnish systems confuse this all the time. And this is something that you might have to get used to. There might be some miscommunication and mistakes happening, especially in official documents. However, the university is not doing it knowingly, especially not, they're not at least doing it in nefarious ways. Rather, they most likely simply just do not know the fact that you have two names in your first name. On the other hand, if you do have two first names, please make sure that every single time you fill out any kind of documents or applications, that you fill out both of your first names either into the first name box, if there's only one box for the first name, or if they have multiple boxes and it says first names, then have your names separately in each box. This is the best way for you to have. So one of the reasons this might be happening is because in Finland we also might have multiple first names. However, we only use our first name in everything. The only place basically where our second first name is appearing is in our passports and some other official documents like medical records, etc. Alexi has a very good point. If you have a two-part name, you should separate them with a hyphen. That's a very good point. Thank you, Alexi, for clarifying. Cool. The next question from the forum comes from Gautam Kumar Reddy. Welcome back to the stream. Awesome to have you here. And Gautam is from India, applying to the University of Helsinki to do his master's in global sustainability. And the question is, among Finland and Norway, which is better for a permanent residency after studies? Great question. I cannot comment in terms of Norway because I have not looked into their system. However, in Finland, Alexi can again attest to this a bit better because he has just been looking into this information. Alexi, also, if you want to pitch your course, you can just send me the link in WhatsApp, and then I can link it into the chat. You might not be able to link your course into the link into the chat because that's disabled. However, the permanent residency in Finland, basically what you need to do is after graduation, you need to work in Finland for X amount of years before you can actually apply for a permanent residency. I think it's normally 4 years full time. However, if you have studied full time in Finland for basically your full degree, then it's I think the amount of years that you need to work here is a bit shorter, but I don't remember the exact numbers. So Alexi most likely can fill out the information that I don't remember because he has just gone through all of this for his course. Kabir Palamadai asking in the chat, is university free for international students? No. If you come from outside the European Union or the European Economic Area, you have to pay tuition fees. However, Finnish universities have excellent scholarship programs for international students who come from outside the EU and EEA. Kabir, what I would recommend you to do is to go to my channel. And start going through all the videos that I have on the topics. I will show this really quickly. So go to my channel and start going through this playlist here. Want to study in Finland? Start here. I explain everything that you need to know about studying in Finland, the application systems, the university tuition fees, as well as, for example, the scholarship programs that we have in Finland. Start going through these videos. There's going to be a lot of value for you, and that's going to give you most of the answers to your questions that you might have. Damn, Alexi, I'm not able to do that, the affiliate link right now. If you're able to generate that for me for in any way, that would be helpful. I don't remember exactly how it's done, so I most likely cannot do it right now here live. But yeah, just pitching. Alexi has a new course about moving to Finland. Really good stuff, a lot of valuable material, so I highly recommend that you go check it out. Alex just posted a video about this on his channel. Go check it out as well after the stream. Anyway, the next question comes from Rishi, who comes from India, is also a regular on the channel. Rishi is starting school this semester at the University of Oulu, doing his master's in business analytics and data engineering, which is very nice. And Rishi is saying, Moikka Oliver, moikka to you as well, what's up? What are some popular and premium clothing brands in Finland, and for boots as well? Do you know how many days it takes to get a residence permit card after the decision has been made? Kiitos paljon for your help and advice. Saying thank you very much. You're most welcome. A couple of questions here. First, answering to the question about the residence permit cards. No, I do not know how many days it takes for you to get your residence permit card after the decision has been made, or a physical card or digital proof of residency. Alexi might also have an answer to this question. Not sure. Alexi, let me know in the chat, or everyone if you know. So the question was, do you know how many days it takes to get a residence permit card after the decision has been made? Then in terms of the premium clothing brands in Finland, there are a bunch of them. Of course, now that you ask about this, nothing comes to mind. There are Finnish brands. There are, of course, international brands that we have in Finland, basically all of them. However, in terms of boots, to be honest, I actually cannot name too many brands for shoes or boots. However, if you go into any shoe store in Finland, especially if you go to big shopping centers, they will have really good shoe stores there, and many of these shoe stores actually sell really nice premium brands. So if you're looking for example, shoes for the winter or for the autumn, anything waterproof, I highly recommend simply walking into the closest shopping center and into the closest store shoe store, and they will have everything that you need. Unfortunately, I'm not too big of a fashion person, so the name of the brands elude me quite a bit. All right, so Alex is saying in the chat that the Migri knows the answer to the question about the residence permits, so that's a good tip. So I would recommend that Rishi, you contact Migri about this, because they will have the answer to you. Or if they do, they will be able to provide it to you. Then the next question actually comes from Jess Velasco. Jess is also a regular on the channel, which I do appreciate. And Jess is from the Philippines, and she has not yet decided whether or not she wants to study in Finland. But the question is, hi Oliver, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you as well. Welcome back. Are you going to make or upload a video about the Finnish standard resume and application letter for work? I'm really excited to learn about this. So this is actually a very good question. Yes, I am indeed going to, at some point, post a video about this specific topic. So basically a video about a motivation letter or a job application letter, as well as about a standard Finnish resume or CV. However, so this is going to be a bit of an exceptional video, because I am actually about to publish, hopefully within the next month or so, I'm going to publish a super comprehensive job hunting course in Finland, which basically covers everything that you need to know about the job market in Finland, where to find jobs, how to apply for jobs, how the process actually works, what kind of documents you need, how to actually formulate the documents, etc. And there's a link in the chat if you want to sign up for a waiting list, and you will be the first one to know about this course. Having said this, this course will encompass the topic of a CV as well as a application letter. These will be two separate lessons, because they are super important topics. And it is my plan is to upload one of these into the channel as a free content, but then the rest will be inside the paid course, simply because it's been we have been working on this course for over half a year, and it's taken hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, and unfortunately I cannot give the content away from free, because I actually have a business partner in the working with me on the course. However, you will get a taste of this course with a free video, most likely about the CVs specifically. PB97, terve sullekin. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Awesome to have you here. Rishi, you're most welcome. You're welcome, and thank you for the great questions. I'm completely messing up my words. Anyway, the next question from the forum comes from Dovlat, who comes from Russia, also a regular on the channel. Again, appreciated. Dovlat is starting school this semester, doing his bachelor's in digital systems and design. And the question is, hi Oliver, can you tell me about S-bonus or the S-group? Very good question. Alexi, if you can actually also talk about this on the chat, or, you know, general bonus cards that we have in Finland. So what Dovlad is talking about here is about one of the biggest retail companies in Finland. Let me see super quickly. Just trying to find the correct website. So let me just do this really fast. So I actually need to translate the entire page in English using Google Translate, because this is for some reason not in English. So S Group, it says S channel here, but the S Group is one of the biggest retail chains in Finland. So we have basically two retail chains in Finland. We have S Group and we have the K Group or Kesko. And these companies basically operate most of the grocery stores in the entire country. They also operate a huge amount of the different restaurants in Finland. And most likely if you go to a store, unless it's Lidl, because Lidl is a different chain, you will be going to either an S Group or K Group store. And what Dovlat is asking about is specifically about the S bonus card, which is a specific card that you can get yourself. Basically, the idea is that if you concentrate your if you concentrate your purchases into one of these chains, basically either S Group or Kesko or K Group, you can actually get a bonus card, and you will then accrue bonus from every purchase in that chain, and then you will basically get money back from your purchases. Of course, it's the money back that you get back is not a massive amount, but you still get some back, and you will also be able to enjoy a lot of different discounts, specifically in the stores and restaurants from those chains using those bonus cards. The actual cards, I'm not sure if they actually cost anything. If they do, it's basically nothing. It's just a cash payment, 10, 20 euros or something. And from there on, then you can actually use the card and then accrue bonuses. And actually, Alex is explaining this really well in the chat. Basically, it's a cashback loyalty card, which you can use at the specific group restaurants or grocery chains. Really well explained. But yeah, really great question. So basically, again, the biggest groups are S Group and then Kesko or K Group, basically. Or Kesko, Kesko is the official name. Jetkoti, what's up, my man? Welcome to the stream. You're not too late. Well, in a sense, yes, because actually we need to end the stream in just a moment. I actually have, I had to force a meeting for this evening. I wasn't able to fit it anywhere else, so we actually have to end a bit earlier this week. However, next week we will have a normal 2-3 hour stream to continue. Anyway, the next question comes from the forum, comes from Shrojit, who is from India, also a regular on the channel, which is awesome to have. Welcome back. And Shrojit is applying to universities, so hasn't made a choice yet. However, doing his bachelor's in business, so bachelor's in business administration specifically. And the question is, hey Oliver, I just wanted to know how could I live with a friend in a shared apartment, and also wanted to know how much, how big of a percentage should I get approximately to get a scholarship, as well as when I looked for business and bachelor's in business administration degrees in universities of Turku, I couldn't find anything. So are there any BBAs in the University of Turku, or aren't there? There's a couple of more things here, but let's start with this. So first of all, a BBA, so business bachelor's in business administration, is usually a university of it's usually a degree that is taught at the universities of applied sciences, not at universities. So if you want to study at a university, specifically University of Turku, you might need to do, for example, a bachelor's in economics or international business or something similar. So if you want to look for BBAs specifically, you most likely need to be looking at universities of applied sciences, not universities. However, of course, you can still do a bachelor's in business in universities, but it's not a BBA. It's something else. It's a bachelor's in business, something else, basically. The official name might be bachelor's in business administration. That's what I have as my bachelor's. However, the actual program names might be different. So again, don't look for BBAs in Turku. Look for something else. For example, again, kind of to give you an idea. So for example, if you just Google Aalto Bachelor's in English, go to Aalto University's website, you can actually see that Aalto University has two types of English taught business degrees that they have. One is in economics and one is in international business. And both of these are BBCA or BBCBAs, so Bachelor's in Science in Business Administration. So not Bachelor's in Business Administration. Again, that's a degree from a University of Applied Sciences. Rather, it's BSCBA, Bachelor's Program, Bachelor's in Science in Business Administration. Even if it's international business or economics, it's still BSCBA. However, this is a university level degree, not a University of Applied Sciences. So there's a difference here. Again, remember the differences in the schools and the level of education that they give. Then in terms of the question about scholarships, about basically what kind of percentage you need to get from your finals or from the SATs or something, I have no idea. Some universities do not even publicize the information about this. Some do give you some statistics. But for example, Aalto University does give you some benchmarks for the absolute minimum points that you need to get from the SATs in order for you to get admitted to the university. However, they never give any comments about what kind of points you would need to get in order to get a scholarship. That that is there's way too many things that they take into account as for them to basically give you a percentage or points on their website. There's absolutely no public information about this, so that's just something that I cannot answer. Then to your first question about the shared apartment, if you want to apply for a shared apartment with your friend, it depends whether or not you can do this depends on the student apartment provider itself. For example, with HOAS, which is the biggest student apartment provider in Helsinki or in the capital, you cannot choose your roommate yourself. Rather, the student apartment provider will assign you a roommate themselves. This is the most common system that we have in Finland. However, there are some exceptions to this rule. However, out of the top of my head, I don't remember which of these student apartment providers has this kind of system. So I cannot really give you anything here either. And then kind of continuing, Shrojit is saying, I wanted to know as well, because I'll be 17 when I join the university in Finland, so can I do exams without parental guidance, or is it a must for parents to be present there? Absolutely not. There's absolutely no reason for you to have your parents in Finland. If we don't really care about the age that you have here. In fact, young Finnish people get independent super fast. So basically, almost everyone moves out from their parents' place to become completely independent when they get their first study place. So for example, when I got to university, I moved out almost immediately after that, and that's most common. So we're super independent. There's absolutely no parental control when it comes to university, even if you're 17. I would think so. Awesome. Then the next question comes from the form, comes from update. There you go. Comes from Shreya, who comes from India as well. And Shreya has not yet decided whether or not she wants to study in Finland, but is interested in Aalto University, specifically in their bachelor's in science, so STEM. So that's, again, I don't remember STEM. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and maths. Science, technology, engineering, and maths. All right, cool. And the question is, are there job opportunities for Indian students? Also, should I consider Finland as an option for bachelor's degree in STEM as an Indian student? All right, so first of all, there are job opportunities for international students in Finland. There's absolutely no impact whatsoever of which country you're a citizen of. So, if you are an Indian, it doesn't matter whether you're Indian, from Sri Lanka, from China, from the US, from Germany, from Sweden. There are job opportunities for you. We do not discriminate or think about the nationality when we hire a person. That's just a fact. And that's actually the law also. We cannot discriminate based on nationality unless we cannot discriminate based on nationality. That's just a law. So yes, there are job opportunities for international students in Finland. Yes, there are. Then to the question, should I consider Finland as an option for bachelor's in STEM? So first of all, I would actually like to note that so STEM, one of the reasons why I actually had to Google STEM, and this might kind of give you a hint of where I'm going here, we don't really have STEM programs in Finland. So science, technology, engineering, and mathematics or STEM programs are not something that we have here. All of our programs are more specific. So for example, if you apply to study in Finland for a bachelor's and you want to study any of these, you would then have to choose science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. So of course, within engineering and technology, you will have science and mathematics in them. However, if you apply for a bachelor's in mathematics, that's completely different from engineering. Also, if you, for example, apply to a program in computer sciences, that's completely different from, for example, other types of engineering programs, for example, mechanical engineering. So you really need to know what topic and what field you want to study before you apply to study in Finland. Just knowing that you want to study science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is not enough. Rather, you need to know what field you want to go into in order for you to apply to study in Finland. Again, if we go to Aalto University website, just as an example, not sponsored, and we look at the English language bachelor's programs that they have. specifically in STEM category, so science and technology. They have a program in chemical engineering. They have a program in computational engineering, data science, digital systems and design, and quantum technology. So you have to make a choice between these, and of course then, you know, these do fall under the category of STEM, but you still have to be more exact about the degrees and the programs that you want to study. So there. This is, by the way, this is not to poke on you. So this is a common misunderstanding or kind of a misconception of the terminology that we use in Finland compared to meaning international countries. From our perspective, international, the same kind of misconception is usually made with colleges, because in Finland we don't really have colleges. We have universities, and we have universities of applied sciences. So, for example, if you Google college degree in Finland, you will most likely get really bad results, because we don't have college degrees in Finland. There are a couple of exceptions. However, basically every single higher degree is taught either at a university or a university of applied sciences. Sometimes in Europe they are referred to as polytechnic universities as well. However, the problem here is that the terminology is a bit different from Finland, between Finland and many other countries as well. So there's a bit of a difficulty here. Then the next question from the forum comes from Hassan, who comes from Pakistan. And Shrojit, by the way, well, you're welcome. Shrojit saying in the chat, I really appreciate you answering these big questions. I keep asking every stream. You're most welcome. This is the reason why we do these live streams. Keep the questions coming. So Hassan is from Pakistan, not yet sure whether or not he wants to study in Finland, but is interested in Aalto University, and specifically in the bachelor's program in business, or bachelor's programs in business. And the question is there any scholarships for undergraduate degrees for non-European students in Finland? Yes, there are. Every single university in Finland does offer scholarships for every single English taught degree. However, specifically, and this is actually very nice for you, scholarships in Finland are only for those who have to pay tuition fees, meaning that scholarships in Finland are only for international students studying English language programs and who come from outside the European Union and European Economic Area. So kind of reversing this, there are no scholarships in Finland for European Union citizens, because European Union citizens and European Economic Area citizens do not have to pay tuition in Finland. So a simple answer to your question is, yes, there are scholarships for international students from outside the Eurozone in Finland. And every single university in Finland that offers English language programs for international students also has a scholarship program. However, the type of scholarships, the amount of the scholarships, the scope of the scholarships, and who can apply and when and how depends on the university itself. So please, if you have not yet watched my video on scholarships, please go to my channel, watch this video here. If you want, it's the latest video on the channel here. Check out this video where I explain scholarships in Finland in a lot of detail, including who can apply for them, what kind of scholarships there are, how do you when and how do you apply for them, how are they actually taxed, etc., etc. I go to a lot of detail there, so please check out that video if you don't know how scholarships work in Finland. Then the next question from the forum comes from Aaron. Aaron comes from Kurdistan and is also a regular on the channel. Welcome back to the stream. It's awesome to have you here in I think first time in a long time. And Aaron is applying to the Hump University of Applied Sciences to do his bachelor's in mechanical engineering. And the question is, can you please do a video about entrance exams and talk about it a little in this live stream? Thank you. I can make a video about entrance exams in the future. Unfortunately, I cannot really talk about this in this stream specifically, simply because there are so many different type of entrance exams in Finland. Kind of a general summarization is, if you apply to universities, as a general rule of thumb, universities, there's again a division between universities and University of Applied Sciences when it comes to entrance exams. In universities, as a general rule of thumb, there are exceptions. There are no school-specific entrance exams. Rather, most universities use standardized tests like the SATs, and then different language proficiency tests, GREs, GMATs, etc. However, as I mentioned, some universities are exceptions to this. And for example, Aalto University School of Design, arts and design specifically, they do not have an entrance exam, but rather they use a design assignment. They actually test your design skills through a physical assignment. Having said this, universities of applied sciences are a bit different, and many of them do use either standardized tests like the SATs, or they might also have school-specific entrance exams. For example, if you apply to the healthcare sector to become, for example, a nurse, they will have specific type of entrance exams that are designed for that field. This is one of the reasons why I really cannot talk about this in general, because there are 22 different universities of applied sciences and hundreds of different bachelor's programs in those schools in English. So there's absolutely no way for me to even remember those all programs. And one of the big issues is also that those exams change every single year. And I have no idea if there's any kind of dummy exams or example exams online anywhere. So I usually do not talk about this too much, simply because I don't know. So that's a general answer to your question. I do apologize, that doesn't really tell you that much. Hopefully it at least explains the situation and gives you a bit of context around the topic. Having said this, and actually my watch is already telling me that I have to go, and unfortunately I had to schedule a meeting for today on top of the normal live stream. I do apologize. I didn't get to everyone's questions. However, I do appreciate all the questions that came in, and especially people who were exceptionally active in the chat today. Thanks for Alexi for helping with some of the questions and becoming a moderator as well. There are some questions in the form left, so I will start next week's live stream with those questions as usual. So thank you so much for everyone for hanging out for this hour, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.